3, 2, 1, go. Right, so here we go, offline PB for Celeste 90%. Now, much like most of the offline PBs I've done over the many years of speedrunning, it starts off terrible. I mean, prologue is prologue, so this is fine. I'm pretty sure it was like plus 0.0. That's per usual. But City is going to be quite a journey. I don't know what it is about offline PBs, but 9 out of 10 times when I get them, it's like the first stage, or first 2 stages are just ass. Buddy. See what it has to offer. Well, for starters, those spikes look very tasty. And then I didn't get my dash back, and then I did the wrong dash, so that's off to a great start. And then most of the rest of the city is like fine. Pretty sure I have like one more death at one point. Should also note that it's very funny that I have as good of a time as I have, considering the dopey ass strats that I still do in City. Like, I have not really sat down and learned stuff or worked at City, or like did a heavy practice session of it since I first learned this. As such, there's like a lot of fast strats that I could be doing, but it's like the overall time save that I would get from it compared to like the... Oh yeah, there's the other dopey death. But yeah, compared to the time save that I would get from practicing the longer ones, it's like, yeah, no. I just have not bothered. It's less than 10 seconds. I could reliably save. Should definitely do it at some point if I'm gonna keep up with this game. But for starters, this was fine. And hey, I'm still getting really good times with my dopey City strats. So yeah, 117 with a death on the first screen, so that's actually like over 120. I was like 5.5 seconds behind here over my PB, even though I had like a small amount of time to save. Oh, you watched the TAS, Josh? Yeah, the TAS is absolute nonsense. I love it. Anyway, into old side. This is where PB starts kicking up. There's definitely still some potential for time save, some sloppy movement here and there, but for the most part, this is like kind of how I want old side to go. Once again, there's still stuff I could be doing. I've only... Like, old side is the one I've worked on the least since first learning, though I have worked on it, which is more than I can say for City. City, I just kind of started improvising, adding new strats during resets here and there. They're very minor things. But yeah, old side, I used to do a very much slower strat on this room, but nowadays I do this. Been getting more consistent at that room. Like, I used to have a lot of trouble with the wall bounce at the end there. Like I said, some sloppy movement here and there. And I'd say this is the room that I'd have to work on the most. Especially this part. Much better strats I could be doing there. Still. Got out of there by like 126. Messed up some of my usual movement, but that allowed me to go for like slightly faster dream block strats, so. And we're breaking even roughly. The rest of the movement was quite fine. Oh, right. Little bit of trouble getting up that last part. And on a 2 or 3. Very nice. If I work on that one room, then I should definitely be able to get sub 2 ult sides pretty consistently. Or maybe I need to work on a little bit more than that. But yeah, at this point I was like 1 or 2 seconds behind. Saved a little bit of time with that ult side. So even though I didn't have a great start, I was just like, alright, let's see what we can turn this into. And then this resort happened. Now my opening of resort tends to be pretty good. It's obviously still a couple of seconds that I lose over record. But not too much. I'd say the most amount of time that I lose is in huge mess and probably in Oshiro. Right at the end. Resort is one that I work off on and off just because, you know, it's quite a difficult stage for being as early in the run as it is. Cycles ruin good things. Starting section could have been 1 or 2 seconds faster. But considering how the rest of it went, I am not at all unpleased. Woohoo! 140 Oshiro time. Not too bad. In huge mess, this is also the section that I lose the most amount of time in. I think this and the spike jump room are the only rooms where I do the fastest possible strat, and the other ones oh, and this part of course. But yeah, the other rooms I lose like a bunch of cycles. Yeah, resort is also like surprisingly difficult for the golden berry. Or maybe not surprisingly so, because it was definitely the chapter that no matter whether it was A side, B side, or C side, I died on the most. In like relative to how long it is, that is. But yeah, during my casual playthrough, so yeah. It's very easy to die on resort. Can't imagine the golden berry being quite the hassle. The other sections of huge mess I definitely still lose a couple of cycles as well. But not as much as in the first part of huge mess, so I'd say that is probably the thing I'm going to work on next, when I next look at resort. Still though, that was a good huge mess, and I think I got out of there the fastest time I've ever gotten out of it. Got to the door at 3:23. I think my best before that was like 3:25. Everyone went completely as planned. No funky stuff here, hitting one of the blobs, although I got very close to the blobs at the bottom there, more so than I should, but I got away with it. And then there's this room, which went surprisingly well, but I was so close to hitting the blob at the end there, because I like, got a slightly higher jump than I would have liked, that yeah. I kind of panicked after that, as shown in the menuing. And fastest entry time for Oshiro I've ever had as well, sub 4:30. O0 went very much fine for the strats that I used. There's a little bit of time to save for me still on this room, as well as on the next room, where you like don't wait for O0 to go, like you just go so fast you beat him to it. A little bit faster strats I could go for there, but I quite like the strats that I have at the moment. And this is the main room that I have a lot of time save on. From this point onwards. So I still go for death cycle strats, so I have to like take a death. And B, I just feel like there's a lot faster movement I could do it. Regardless, that's a 523 Celestial Resort, so with the strats I use, that is an ILPB, and one death. One death. Not too bad. So yeah, that's the first of 2 ILPBs in this run. It's pretty nuts. Yo, what's up, Jill? How you doing? So, anyone who's been watching me run Celeste for quite a while knows my hate-hate relationship with with Ridge, I mean. But after another good practice session, things finally started clicking, and recently I have actually been getting good ridges. PB got a pretty good one, though with still some time sale left. So that's what I'm trying to capitalize on. Doing pretty good, Jill. How about you? Alright. So this room I still take the Bobby elevator on, just because I don't feel like the spike jump saves all that much time, and I cannot for the love of God get it consistently. And I think that might have something to do with the fact that I play on keyboard, so I can't bind multiple keys to jump, like you can on controller, I think. That might be false, but I think that is the case. I know I definitely can't do multiple to jump though. So yeah, I really have to perfectly time when I let go of the jump button and when I then press it again. Which for some spike jump setups is not that much of a problem. For that one, it very much is. Alright. Got to that at 150. I think that's the fastest I've ever done it. I don't think rebinding is a thing for PS4, but it is on PC for controllers. And I know that several people have multiple buttons for jump to make stuff like that easier. Just don't know if they do it like through the official game with controller offering it and keyboard not, or that they just enter the game files or some shit. Regardless, I don't want to enter the game files. Anyway, last section of Ridge. Actually got to it fastest I've ever gotten to it. For sure. Or maybe not, considering this is not going to be an ILPB. And this is actually quite a good last section. So it's probably like just about keeping up with it. But yeah, all I know is I got very close to my blue split here. 323 is very respectable. I'm a fan. Took a little bit of time to take a drink there. Stay hydrated, folks. Stay hydrated. Now for Mirror Temple. I think my next practice session I'm gonna focus on Mirror Temple, because holy heck, dude, I've just not been having a good time with this. Used to be really good at it, but I have not had any good Mirror Temples lately. Start has been going fine, and it goes fine again in this run. First couple of sections. Oh, when we get to the fish fuckers. Oh boy. Fish fuckers and rescue. What's up, Frakanak? It's perfectly fine. My movement here is actually quite sloppy, and as a result, I lose a little bit of time because I did not get to these bubbles as fast as I should have. And if I was any slower, then I probably would have hit those spikes. But I was quite glad I got away with it. Yo, congrats on your name day. I forgot exactly what that is. I just know that we don't have that. And it's not a birthday. Shoutouts to free time save. For the longest time I actually didn't know you could skip that death animation after you hit yourself with the Seeker. Sorry, fish fucker, not Seeker. Gotta use the proper name. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Anyway, so far so good. First couple of Seekers, not a problem. Just some sloppy movement though. And then I didn't make it to the door in time for it to stop me like I was planning to, so I couldn't dash into the next room and had to do a slightly slower strat there, but that's no biggie. This guy though, he has not been my friend. Although he's been getting very close to me, trying to be my friend. He's been doing everything except what I want him to lately, and that's completely not down to me not doing the right inputs, but I just feel like I am. Now this is the weird part. I didn't get my dash back there, and that is not a way I have ever failed key skip in before. So I was quite salty about that. Like the fish fucker and that, it's like, ugh. These parts are fine though. And now for rescue. The section that is really cool but really difficult, and I'm not sure whether I love it or hate it. Also because of those fish fuckers. Yeah, I definitely made the wrong call there after I missed him. You can very much make that work, but I just made the wrong decision. I couldn't get wall jumps for shit, and that guy was being a little bit too friendly with me. So that's already 2 bad rooms in rescue. This one was fine. And that guy actually got caught behind that little thing. I've never seen him do that before. So even though that was fine and he didn't end up killing me, I was very caught off guard by it. Very confused about what the heck is going on in this mirror temple. Going fast is in rescue is hard, dude. You have to do like the super dashes and hyper dashes, and directly afterwards grab onto Theo again. This guy started a dash, decided to not finish it. What a jerk. He tried to get me again. Another fish fucker that didn't cooperate. This section was decent enough, but that could also be better. So 518. A while ago I would have been really happy with that. Nowadays I'm really not. It's like I definitely have the strats to get sub 5s. I've never gotten one though. I always drop it on rescue. If I learned how to more consistently hyper dash in the rescue section, instead of super dash, then I could definitely save some more time, but I have a hard time catching Theo if I do that. Yo, what's up, Mel? Thank you for the congrats. How you doing? But yeah, that mirror temple put a serious dent in the quality of this run. Like, City put a small dent in it, but it's City, so the amount of time you lose there on something that's still acceptable, it's like, it's not gonna be much. At most I was like 6 or 7 seconds there, but mirror temple I have to like, if I get the blue split that I think I'm capable of getting, then I definitely have like 19-20 seconds to save there. Nah, definitely 20. But hey, I was still ahead at this point by like 13 seconds, mostly thanks to that resort and ridge. Those were both really good. Old side too, actually. So I was like, yo, let's just knock it out of park, get a good enough reflection, and then go get my time save on Summit. Because I got like a 10-20 in my PB there on Summit, so definitely time to save. Some funky stuff on that screen. And then some more slop on this screen, and then the next screen. This is like, this has overall been a... Oh, not on this screen, never mind, it was a different one I was thinking of. But yeah, 2 screens with some slop, and it's like, this is overall still good reflection, but you know. Small sloppy mistakes like that can be kind of annoying. Yo, Buffalo! Thank you for the resub, dude. Much appreciated. 2 months in a row. That's awesome. Alright. Still not gonna do for the skip where you like skip one of those bouncy guys, because you need to get a really good bounce off of them for that to work. It's like, whew. Some iffy movement, getting closer to the spikes than I really should, but I got away with it. And that room went as planned. So yeah, 241 roughly at Granny. It's like, I don't think that's the best I've done, but that's definitely really good. And I was like, alright, all out, let's go for the fastest strats here. To be fair, I've been doing that a lot recently anyway. And yeah, that was just straight up good. So probably saved like fractions of a second of my PB there, just with how cleanly I executed it. Hey, morning kiddo. How you doing? Yeah, just because those sections went as clean as they did, and I was like, had a really good granny time, and then that hallway went really well. I ended up entering this at like 3:28 on the first hit, and that's the best time I've ever entered the fight. So, like, I'm pretty sure I've gotten like very, very close to that as well. But it's definitely among my better reflections. So now it just all was down to getting a good fight. Which, you know, can be kind of nerve-wracking, but I was in the zone, man. I was in the zone. I was feeling it. I think of one room, well, 2 rooms now that I had like some sloppy, 3 rooms that I had some sloppy movements, but that is very minor time loss. And really what's most important for me at this point is to do this deathless. Yo, fireball. Thank you, thank you. And like throughout this fight I have like various points where I look at the timer and be like, alright, where am I at? And I was just feeling like, holy shit, this is going well. This room is kind of slow as usual. I play this room very safe because it just does not flow well at all. And this room went as planned. The end of this room is always very scary to me, but like you can very consistently pull it off, so I'm not sure why I'm so scared. And yeah, I hit her there sub 5. That's the first time I've done that. So yeah, ILPB pace, very much so. And I knew it, and that is a problem. Then I decided, okay, oh wait, that is not what I'm supposed to do here, and then that was sloppy, and then I was too late for that cycle, and I grabbed onto that wall. Very sloppy room, but hey, I didn't die. Not dying's pretty good. And then I pulled myself together, and then the rest of this is once again really good. Making this a deathless battle in the fight. Which I'm not sure if I've ever had a deathless one. I think the best one I've had is like a really quick death on this room. And that's it. So yeah, that was really good. And then I decided, you know, I don't want to like get quite that good of an ILPB, so I'm just gonna have some slop in that section. But yeah, blue split by a little bit, ILPB by a little bit. A really good reflection. I like it. What's up, Gaiden? $638. Good stuff. Taking like a second to breathe before I head into Summit. And this is where like, oh man, I can get such a good PB if I get all of my time safe on Summit. And that is a bad thought. But that is a bad thought. You just focus on, alright, let's just play. At most 2 seconds, Josh. So minor slop, but hey, first section still went mostly as planned. Wasted a second. Now for the 500-meter section. Going well so far. Summit is a weird one. It's like, or this particular summit at least. But yeah, you'll see why it is. For starters, I was like not paying enough attention, just psyching myself out on some things, and had that kind of expensive death. Like it's not a super expensive room, but it's still not good. And after that, I was kind of, you know, tilted and didn't know how to recover instantly. So yeah, definitely lost a bunch of seconds there. Thousand meters, perfectly fine as usual though. It's very rare that something goes wrong on this. I was kind of close to not making it on that last dash there, but I got away with it. Yeah, and this one is very consistent. Ta-da! Easy peasy. Which brings us to 1500 meters. Now this is the Celestial Resort section, and funnily enough, even though my actual Celestial Resort went really well, this one is going to go the exact opposite of that. Whereas it's usually the other way around. I have a bad resort and I have a good section here. I've been getting pretty inconsistent at getting the cycles that I want on this. I'm sure there's like places where I can get like a slightly faster cycle, but for the most part, I'd say it's pretty good. This is fine. And Q, a miss wave dash, Q, and not knowing how to continue for that. Q, brain damage, Q, oh god, I gotta hurry up otherwise I'll lose a lot of time, and then, yeah, went too fast, cycle wasn't quite ready for me yet. More time loss. Absolutely terrible. So at this point I was like quite a lot behind where my PB summit was. I hit that at 4, whereas like I was like a good 25 seconds behind at least, if not 30. And I knew it. Like I knew I was far behind. So yeah. Another dumb death there. Oh boy, more time loss, just what I could use. But that's when I turned beast mode on. Really difficult skip. Well, I've been failing the easy stuff, so let's fail the hard stuff. Or let's get the hard stuff rather, because those were really clean autoscope skip. What's up, GG Lev? Yeah, skip the berry. I got an extra on a golden ridge though, so I'm still gonna end up with 2 berries. On the last screen there. Alright, at this point it's like, alright, yeah. 25 to 30 seconds behind where I'd ideally be. So at that point for sure I knew like I'm majorly behind. But the rest of that section went very cleanly. So that definitely helps. Didn't get a high enough jump there, so I decided to just cut my losses into casual strats. Which was definitely the right decision, because setting up for a backup would have cost me more time. That room was very clean. This room was very clean. First try spike jumps. That's stuff that I usually lose a lot of time on, so that definitely helped me catch up a little bit. And these rooms are not particularly difficult, going as planned. 2 deaths here to dashing too early twice. Kind of unfortunate, but those at least are quick deaths and those are expected. Still not going for door skip because it's a bad meme. Not nearly practiced enough at it, and that 1 second is not worth it, not even in this situation. Not to me, at least. And I'm still massively behind where I'd like to be. But I knew that I had time to save in 3000 meters. Because I had very expensive deaths on checkpoint 2. And I think some other slop in my PB as well on 3000 meters. So this is where actual beast mode comes in. Super beast mode. What's up, Joe? No mistakes so far. Okay. Slightly too far away from that wall. Very minor time loss. Not a problem. Still quite a lot of time to catch up. Fast strats here. They're not nearly as tight as I used to think they were. Ended up not getting my dash back there, but that's not really a problem. It's extremely minor time loss. Fast climbing there. Good stamina management as well. Not a problem there either. Thank you, Joe. Still no major mistakes, and very little minor mistakes for the strats that I do. And then at this point I looked at my timer and was like, holy heck, I've already caught up a bunch of time. That is good, because I knew that there was more, like a really big time save still coming up on checkpoint 2. So, while it is still not the best summit, at least I knew that I was catching up to my PB summit. And I have a really expensive death here in the PB. So I just did it properly this time. And just like that. Still managed to save 3 seconds off of my summit. Almost 4 seconds. And get my sub 35:30. Oh yeah. That run is within 35 seconds of my summit best. My summit best is like a 34:53. This being 35:26. So I am honestly really happy with this run. Like, sure, summit could have been better, tempo could have been better. If I get the blue splits that I think I'm capable of there, I think those two combined make for like 40 seconds of time save that I have. But considering I'd also have to match those ILPB's reflection and resorts and that really good ridge and that really good old side, a little bit of time save on city. It's like, I'm not sure how realistic it's gonna be to actually still PB from here. I'm gonna try though. I'm still motivated to improve. So Perhaps I can Bob Green David Eku. Perhaps I can get a 34. At the very least, this puts me at spot 11 on the leaderboards, and this is where I don't really know whether if Revo's PB was on the leaderboards he would be above or below me. I forgot what it was. So. It might have been a 35, but it also could have been like a 34 or a 33. Because Revo is pretty good. But yeah, since it's not on leaderboards anyway, let's just say, yeah, 11th place. In a game with how many? How many players does it have now? $352. Sounds good to me. I'm really close to that top 10 as well. The next time is 35.22. And Deku's time is 35.11. And then after that, it ramps up a bit with a 34.43. So I think I should be able to get 10th and maybe 9th spot. Leaderboards. Maybe get a 34. I might have to look into some new strats for it. I'm just gonna go day by day with what my motivation says. If like at any point my motivation says it's like, oh yeah, I don't want to do Celeste anymore. I want to focus on heroes and maybe learn a new game again. And then I'm gonna do that. But as long as my motivation still stays on Celeste, I'll do Celeste. And I'll at least be doing it for this week because I gotta, you know, stay informed for BSG. Boy. There it is. 35.26.